We've chased this Pan-American dream across an entire continent, but lately, reality has been catching up with us fast. In this episode, we take you to one of our most beautiful campsites yet, while getting real about one of the hardest decisions we've ever had to make, and where this decision takes us from here. Alright, so I guess it's time for us to spill the tea. We lose everything, and everything truly is over. Maybe I'll do the occasional solo van life. What's coming next? What does our future hold?
After being here for 7 months, we can say
Look at the little froggy.
he's so cute.
The little green froggy.
Oh.
Look at him go. We didn't expect to be saying this, but after about 18 months on the road driving south down the Pan-American Highway, we've decided to make the hard choice to turn around and head north.
It's crazy.
As you can see, we're not on some super tropical beach somewhere in Central America or in the Yucatan Peninsula or in some Central American country. We're in central Mexico right now, back in the mountains near Mexico City.
Yeah, about 9,500 feet elevation. It's so nice up here.
It's quite a difference from where we were just a couple of days ago in the heat of Bacalar in the Yucatan.
Yeah.
We don't want to clickbait you, so before we get into exploring some of this beautiful place and sharing it with you, we're going to give you a quick little rundown with exactly why we've decided to turn around, why we've made this decision. And then later we're going to have a sit down and get more into the nitty-gritty of everything and give you a lot more details on all the reasons.
Along with sharing a little bit of our plans for the future and what's coming next. So for any of you who just came for that, we've left timestamps down below so you can jump to that. But if you'd like to join us here for a beautiful day in an incredible place, we'd love for you to.
So the first major factor is money.
Unfortunately, we're down to just enough money to be able to afford to travel for about 2 more months. And with that, we could continue into Central America, but we feel like it's just not worth the risk because if we run out of money down there and we can't afford to get back, our van, which is our home, could be stuck down there. And, we could hope that something changed, but at this point it's feeling like the risk isn't worth the reward.
The second main factor is the heat of Central America. And we don't have AC in the van, and I know you guys are going to say that we're crazy for not having AC, and I get it. It feels very crazy for us, but we have a lot of reasons why we don't have AC, which we'll get into later, and the logistics of all of that. But in the time we've been in Mexico and we've been in some really hot places, it's just been very unbearable. And it can be not fun. And we don't want to just rush through Central America because it's super hot.
Yeah.
We want to be able to actually take our time in beautiful places and not exhaust ourselves. We just want to say that this is not the end, and we'll get into more of our future plans later. We have a lot of exciting things that are coming up for us. But first we want to take advantage of the morning here and go explore for a bit. And if you're just here for the explanation, we'll leave some timestamps down below for you guys to skip ahead and listen to our long list of reasons.
Yep, all the dirty details and the tea. We're gonna spill it all.
We're gonna spill the tea. All right, let's go.
Let's go.
It's getting quite hot here, actually.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting really warm in my, what do you even call this?
A fleece.
A fleece. I haven't worn one in so long that I forgot what it was called. And the other day I picked up some really cozy PJs because we're gonna be in some
Cold places,
and they're polar bears.
They're so cute.
Ready to go on our little hike. It's a hike to a little waterfall, and I don't know what else is on the hike.
Some viewpoints. This place is called Diego Mateo, and so far it's just been so beautiful. Like,
yeah.
Cannot believe this place is here in Mexico.
We saw photos
special.
online, but like being here just is a lot different than seeing photos.
Yeah.
And being here is obviously a lot different than you guys seeing this on video. But
It's incredible.
yeah, we're just happy to be able to share this with you guys.
Yeah. It's not all bad driving north. You get to see places like this. I just saw the cutest little bird. It's called a slate-throated redstart, and it's got to be one of the cutest birds we've seen on this trip so far.
After a little bit of struggles, we finally found the trail.
Yeah, it's not where All Trail says the trail is, but
That's definitely not. There's a tunnel here,
oh,
and you're gonna have to go first in case there's any spiders.
okay, I got this. It's pretty cool.
This is really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
There's like a little rock tunnel.
I bet there's gonna be a cool view through here. It's like a portal to another world. Wow, it actually is.
Wow.
That's,
Check it out.
that's a pretty epic view.
Will just bonked his head on the rock there.
Yeah. But I got my helmet on, so we're all good.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't expecting that view.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So this was really interesting. In the middle of this hike, there's this little like truck thing here, and there's just a lady with a couple of dogs, and apparently it's a whole other park and you have to pay here.
Yeah, so we
I had
paid
no
another,
idea. Another 50 pesos each.
yeah, so
which
about
is-
$5 total.
Yeah, not too bad, but just kind of like a random little spot to have a booth. Will told me to look at the little hen and chicks. And I look down and all I see is this. And I'm like, where? Where's this hen and chicks?
You were
I
so
didn't
excited.
know. I didn't know that this was called hen and chicks. I had no idea. I was actually looking for like a small bird with small chicks.
Yeah, that would've been cool.
I was super excited. But that plant was really cute too. Look at all the hens and chicks everywhere.
Yeah, that's why they call them hen and chicks. It's because they kind of like multiply from the big one and then the little ones come out the side.
They're so cute.
I think this might be the stream that has the waterfall.
It's a little magical.
Super magical. Wow, look at that. I think it's a bromelade. You know, this place feels a lot like BC or the PNW, but then you
Yeah.
see things like the bromelade that are like so tropical. It's such a strange mix. It's really cool.
Yeah, there's a huge variety of plants here. It doesn't really feel like everything belongs together.
Yeah, I love it though.
Yeah, me too. What's wild to me is having like the little hen and chicks and then like these massive succulents with this kind of forest.
It's such a strange mix.
Like it's just so cool.
Yeah, I love it.
So cool.
Can't find this in the US.
This has to be like one of my favorite kind of areas in Mexico.
Definitely, same.
It's just so wild in the mountains and yeah, it's beautiful. Hey little guy, you're so small. I just saw a snake.
Yeah, I just saw it slither there.
He slithered right into this bush, but he disappeared faster than I can get the camera ready.
Big stare.
Bigger than it looked. That's kind of cool. It's like in a cave.
Yeah, wow, that's actually really cool. Krista's just showing me up here. She's just cruising down the mountain.
But he's standing. Well, this is so much cooler than we expected.
Yeah, it's super magical. Like, look at these little pools.
It's such clear water. Wow, but there's a dead mouse in
Just
there.
ignore the dead mouth.
Or a rat, I don't even
Yeah.
know. It's pretty big.
Apparently, the people who are here said it's a good, like, canyoneering area. Looks like it'd be super cool, a great adventure. The mountain goat is back at it again.
I hope it's not super slippery.
Don't worry, I'll catch it on camera if anything happens. Does the water look super cool, clear over there?
Yeah.
I think Krista's hungry.
I'm very hungry. There's a little restaurant at this campground, and so we decided to come here to eat instead of making our not food because we're very limited on food right now.
Yeah, not having a working fridge has made things more difficult. It was definitely the day the fridge broke was when we started to really
was the day
like.
that I started questioning everything.
Yeah, we'll go into that more later, but it was kind of maybe like the final like sign for us almost.
Yeah. Like if we had a lot of funds, obviously it'd be no problem getting a fridge, but right now it's just...
We just couldn't afford one, and yeah, so kind of difficult.
Yeah. But this restaurant has just a really pretty view with the mountains and the green grass and the trees. It's just super nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of little places like this in Mexico, and I think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm. We haven't got a lot of quesadillas in Mexico.
Or any. So
we had one.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure we did.
I think we probably did.
You did.
Maybe. I think it probably did.
I feel like we got a quesadilla once.
But we'll see how these are.
I just got a cheese one.
And I got a mushroom one. I'm gonna put some hot sauce in mine.
This is very stringy. I love pulley cheese though. When it pulls like that.
Plate has arrived, and it looks good. It's got some cactus. Looks like some steak, kind of, and then some enchiladas under it with some beans and rice.
Is that like chorizo?
Yeah, and then I don't know what that is, but it'll be good. Like all good restaurants here in Mexico, they gave us tortillas to build our plates. I love it. You turn anything into tacos here.
Pretty great. Built my taco. Now it's time to try it.
Pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Very delicious.
We're definitely going to miss the food down here in Mexico a lot.
We also got an order of chalupas.
Yeah, for about $1.25 for that plate.
Yeah,
This will be our first time trying chalupas.
I hope they're not super spicy.
I think it'll be good.
The green looks...
Chalupa cheers.
I hope the green isn't what's in there.
It's really good. It's crazy, we keep finding new Mexican foods that are so good. After being here for 7 months and trying to try as much as we can, it's impossible to try it all.
All right, so I guess it's time for us to spill the tea and tell our viewers exactly why we're heading north.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks back, almost a month ago now, our fridge broke, and yeah, that was kind of annoying. And it's really hard to get a good fridge here in Mexico, so we're looking at our options, and they're pretty expensive. And while we can technically afford one, we have a good enough cushion right now just to get by for the next few months, or
buy a fridge.
buy a fridge.
And then we have like 1 month of money left.
And, that's a little scary. And it just got me thinking, and I think it's been a while in my mind, like, do I really want to drive through Central America?
At least
And
at this point.
But you remember how many times I've brought up, do you actually want to drive through Central America?
A lot.
I think there was a part of me that kind of didn't want to.
Yeah.
Anyway, so essentially I kind of brought up some very valid points about some of the logistics of driving through Central America. And we made a pros and cons list of all the good things, all the not so good things, and most of those pointed to us just heading north.
Yeah, it was kind of out of the blue. Like, we were just planning to go south. And then that, like, evening after the fridge had broken, we just kind of were feeling a little frustrated. Like, Chris just said, maybe we should go north. And to me, that had just, like, had not been a real thought.
Yeah, it wasn't really a real consideration, because I think both of us kind of have this view where if we don't drive the entire Pan American Highway, did we really drive it?
Yeah.
And the main reason we both wanted to do Central America so bad was just to be able to say that we drove the entire thing. Otherwise, it would feel like a failure, or we cheated at something.
Yeah, at least without AC, where we'd have to be going fast. I think Chris and I both kind of started to have this feeling in our gut, like before you had even brought that up, that we're like, there's a ticking clock and something's just waiting to go wrong in a way that we lose everything, basically. it was not like when are we going to run out of I mean if we were going to run out of money. It
It was a
was
matter
starting
of
to
when.
And so when Krista brought that up, like at first I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I was probably playing it off. I'm bad at that.
But I have a lot of worries, and I'm the type of person that, like, I don't want to mess around and find out in the moment. And Will's very much we'll just deal with it when it happens.
Yeah, I don't worry.
And for me, it's like, well, the worst thing that can happen if we run out of money is we lose the van completely.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Mexico doesn't let us back in, and we're stuck between borders. Like, that already almost happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very scary thought. We lose everything at that point, and everything truly is over. And for me, that's not something I want to mess around with, and not something I want to be dealing with in the moment. We almost already dealt with that.
Yeah, we almost lost the van already. That was another, like, I
Yeah.
think a factor that made me start to realize we've done very well so far. We've been lucky.
We've
It's
gotten
gone
lucky
well.
with a lot of things.
A lot of things, but there is a time when your luck will run out, and as our money dwindled, the flexibility and the wiggle room got smaller. So when Krista brought that up at first, I was like, no. But then I was like, wait a second.
I think I kind of like had a bit of like, not a meltdown, but like, but what about this and what about that and this and that? And then that kind of made him start to think, oh yeah.
Yeah, at first
These
I was
are
just like
some
such a like reaction, like, no, of course not. We're continuing. But then that evening we made
a
massive
pros and cons list. A very massive pros and cons list. And like I said, the points like basically pointed us north. It was like
it was
the obvious choice
to go south, it felt like.
And I think in the moment when we made that list and went through it together, we didn't want to admit that going north was the best and most safe option. And I quit my job. That was not the most safe option. I'd take risks when risks are good to make, but
yeah, we didn't start with much money. Like, we spent on basically everything on the van, and we've not been doing this like a safe way. We believe, might as well take a risk, and if something goes wrong, at least you have all these memories and stuff.
But there's a point when taking the risk becomes far too much, and this was one of those things. I think it was the day after we made our pros and cons list that we both called our parents and kind of told them what we were thinking, and on both sides, our parents were like, yeah, I think going north is probably your best bet at this point. And we had told them in that moment, like, we'll give it 2 weeks and we'll decide in 2 weeks. And then we went out for tacos that same day, like I think like an hour after. And while we were having tacos, we were like, you know what? I think we're going north.
Yeah, it just seemed like
the best option.
Yeah.
And it's been a few weeks now since we've made that decision. And I feel like it's still the best decision for us. I don't feel super upset about it or super mad about it. I think I feel really good about it.
I think it was the right decision. I was worried I was going to have big regrets already. I don't. I feel very
don't have
solid.
It either. And I also feel like this massive weight just lifted off my shoulder from all the stress and the worries of all these things that could happen and how we might be feeling in Central America.
Yeah, and on the pros and cons, it was like we put the best and worst case scenario for each.
And for the best case scenario, it was literally we get to drive the entire Pan American Highway. And the worst thing that can happen is we can lose the vehicle.
And it wasn't just like one way, and it wasn't just like some tiny risk. It's a very real risk because we run out of money in Central America and we can't afford to bring the van back. There's temporary import permits. We can't just leave the vehicle there while we go work. We've already had problems at borders.
Just lots of fines, lots of a lot of very scary stuff we don't really
want to be dealing with. It could very quickly leave us with nothing. And at least at this point, we get to go back to the U.S. and we get to make a little bit of money and continue.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the first thing is the money struggles. And I think we basically touched on most of the issues when it comes to the money.
We'll talk a little bit more about it here later when we talk about what's next. Another a little bit of a scary thing with going into Central America with how our finances are is in Nicaragua, you aren't allowed to bring drones in or big telephoto lenses.
That's not the scary thing though.
Yeah. But the problem is you have to ship them around, and so you end up having to pay customs on them. And we have, unfortunately, and we're really blessed, but we have a lot of big telephoto lenses and we have multiple drones. And so that would add up to being thousands of dollars in customs fees that we just don't have, like
Yeah,
plain and simple.
exactly.
And then plus, say, you know, we were able to, something changed, we got a little money, we were able to pay on the way in. Then if we ran out of money past Nicaragua, we can't afford to get back.
And then we're stuck in Costa Rica or Panama. We can't ship the van across for the thousands of dollars it is. And then we have to come back and then
Do the same,
send
yeah.
our gear across again.
It was just getting
Yeah.
more complicated, and the more borders you go through, the more difficulty and expense it is
Yeah.
coming back. And so at this point, it just seemed like time.
So one of the other big factors for us turning around is the heat. And as a lot of you know, and a lot of you think we are absolutely insane for, is that we don't have AC. And what I mean is, in the cab when we're driving, we do have AC. But in the back, in the living space, we do not have AC back there. We only have our max air fan atop the bed, and that just does not do very much. It doesn't produce cold air.
It's a giant metal box.
Yeah.
The sun hits it, it gets hot. We can't park in the shade because then we don't have power for solar.
And a lot of people say to just run the van for a while and let the AC go through, but it really doesn't work that way.
For at least our vehicle,
yeah,
we can't run our van.
It doesn't cool off the whole van, and not only that, but it produces fumes in the back.
And our van can't idle very long.
Yeah, so that's not good for us.
Yeah.
And so probably like 90% of people that drive the Pan American Highway do not have AC. So I just want to put that out there. Just having AC in a van,
it's a luxury.
It's a luxury, but it's also very difficult.
Yeah, it needs so much power that it's really hard to have a power system that is big enough to handle it unless you have a big vehicle where you can have a generator or some other solution. You can have like 1,000 watts of solar or something.
Mm-hmm. And because our solar is very old and outdated, it's not
very
very efficient, and our batteries aren't very efficient either. We would love to upgrade our system, but right now
we can't afford it.
We just can't afford that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we would rather do this with not as great options and be able to do it at all than to just not do it because we can't afford better solar, if that makes sense. So we've experienced both extremes on both ends of the spectrum when it comes to temperature.
Yeah.
We've experienced 40 below.
Up in the Arctic. That's crazy. For most people, they think that's way crazy.
It is. It is pretty crazy. And we've also experienced 40 plus degrees Celsius. And that's really hot, especially in a metal box. And we were expecting it to be hot in Mexico.
Yeah, it makes life hard. For me, at least, I think for Krista, 40 below is a little harder. But for me, at least, the 40 degrees is harder. I can't sleep. Like, there's just no way for me to sleep.
I don't think that the 40 below is harder for me. I think it's harder in a sense where you don't even want to go outside because it's so cold.
Yeah, but at least you can crank the diesel heater and you can be comfortable.
Yeah, you can. But that's the thing, is just being cooped up in a van the whole time. That's what
struggle.
makes it difficult.
Yeah.
Other than that, I prefer the cold, and also the stress of the cold, of like, is our heater going to work? Is the van going to start? Are we going to be stuck up here?
Yeah. Are we going to freeze to death?
That kind of stuff. But when it comes to the heat, it's like there's not really much you can do about the heat unless you have an AC and you can afford it and get really good solar system. But we just found ourselves completely miserable in the heat, and it made things not fun at all.
In all aspects of life, work, fun, anything. You were just not.
You know,
not
you're just like outside and you're dripping in sweat no matter what.
And it puts patience and makes it very, very,
very
small for both of us.
And so that's why we stuck to the high elevation places, which we do prefer because we love the mountains, and the high elevation places have mountains. So it all worked out for us. But when you go through Central America, it's just so much hotter there, and it's just always hot.
And a lot of low elevation. You can't just escape the mountains in a lot of the countries. And
the heat mixed with our money issues, like, do we really want to drive through Central America, pay all this money to ship stuff across Nicaragua, then the expenses of
shipping the van,
Darien Gap, like shipping the van across there,
Panama to Colombia?
Is it really worth the money if we're probably just gonna zip through it very quickly just to not be miserable and say we've done it? We've watched Slow Roamers videos. If you guys don't watch their videos, you have to watch their videos.
Them out,
But we watched their videos and we saw by the time they were finally done Central America, they just looked so exhausted because they did it so fast. And I think it's partly because it's so hot
Yeah,
They might have had
it had
other
just
reasons
taken a
too, but
toll. You could just
you could
see.
just see it. The like every video, like as they would go, you could just see them getting more and more tired, and they would talk about how tired they got. And I just don't think it's worth it for us to have that type of experience where we're spending so much money on it just to drive through.
Really quickly to say we
and
did it.
Just
yeah.
to say we did it.
When there's so much risk of something
Yeah.
really serious leaving us basically with nothing and no options
Yeah.
from there.
And like, don't get me wrong, I love Central America. I've been to Costa Rica and Panama, and Panama is still one of my favorite trips to date. My biology teacher in high school hosted a trip where students can sign up, and it was just the most epic thing I'd done at such a young age. And that was what inspired my passion for travel. I always wanted to travel before that, but it was like, oh, resorts. I'm gonna go to Paris. I'm gonna go to Italy and go to
Disney World.
No, not Disney World.
I don't know.
What's the main city in Italy?
Milan,
Rome, like those types of places. And yes, I'd love to do those. There's nothing wrong if anyone wants to do those. But the sense of adventure and hiking and chasing waterfalls and mountain views, like that's what sparked my passion for it. And, you know, I've done some of Central America, and I really want to see Guatemala and Nicaragua, but it's just not going to be now.
Yeah.
There's so much that Central America has to offer, and there's a part of me that's sad not to see it, but
definitely.
I'm mostly excited for South America.
So I guess that brings us to our next point.
What's coming next? What does our future hold? Is the Pan American Highway over? No, it's definitely not over. Just Central America for now.
And it's just a pause on the Pan American.
Yeah.
We still want to do Central America at some point. It's just once we can afford to do it right.
Yeah, and it'll be in the somewhat near future. Like, it's not going to be like 3 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
At least I hope not.
Yeah.
So essentially our plan, as we've already started, is heading north, and we're going to cross into Texas, and we're going to head up to Will's hometown and spend several months there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
up
know
to
how
6
long.
months.
Up to 6 months.
Depending on how quickly we can make enough money to be able to afford to take on the next leg without having so much risk.
Mm-hmm. And that next leg is going to be shipping our van down to South America, to either Colombia or Uruguay.
Yeah. Or maybe Argentina, but likely Colombia or Uruguay from either Texas or maybe somewhere on the East Coast.
Yeah, we were thinking maybe Nova Scotia, New York area, or Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much cheaper.
And it's also a little safer. It's just has a lot of benefits to shipping from Panama. Even though it's so much closer, Panama to Colombia, it's only like 60 miles. It's really expensive because of some added fees, and there's more corruption, and it can just make it a little more difficult.
I think this plan really helps us both to feel a little bit more safe and secure in our future travels, in a sense where we're not going to be worrying about every single border we go through in Central America.
Any little van trouble could end our whole trip.
And just, you know, having a more comfortable trip overall, where we don't have to deal with insane, intense heat and rushing. Like, we've both experienced firsthand what happens when we rush our travels.
We get burnt out.
We get burnt out.
We get cranky. We don't have fun.
Yeah.
What's the point of doing it if we're not having fun?
Exactly. There's literally no point. You might as well, if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? And so in the meantime, while we're in the United States, not on the Pan American Highway, we're still going to have a lot of really fun, epic adventures.
Maybe even more epic. Who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be winter. I mean, winter's not my favorite season, and I'm not looking forward to the cold, but the mountains in the winter are absolutely beautiful. Washington State is stunning. We'll be near Montana.
Wyoming. There's so many areas we can go to.
Mm-hmm.
The adventures we're going to get to, it gives me chills. Like, I'm so excited.
Even back to Canada, you know, BC is right there. Alberta's right there.
Yeah.
I'm already ready with my polar bear PJs.
Back to the Arctic.
Yeah. So while Will works with clients that he has back home, I'll be working on the YouTube videos and building that up. So while he makes money for us to continue our travels, I will be building more on our future. So we'll be doing a lot of side trips for maybe like a week,
2
even
weeks.
like a weekend, like every now and then we'll be doing that. So we'll definitely still have plenty of videos to come and plenty epic videos. And maybe I'll do the occasional solo van life.
Yeah, I think she's gonna try some solo stuff while I'm like, if I have something I need to be back at home
Yeah.
for. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be good for her.
I'm really nervous for the first time I do it because I've never really, I guess I've been on my own before, but like van life on my own feels like a huge step for me. Maybe it isn't for a lot of people, but for me, it feels like it is.
You're gonna do great.
I'm also so far away from my family. My family's on the other side of the country, so.
Over the last year or so, we've been taking this channel really seriously because we believe it has a lot of potential to make this lifestyle doable, and we love sharing this adventure with you. But since right now it's really not bringing in that much, it's really important that one of us is able to do some work that's bringing in a little bit more money at the time, while the other person works on our long-term plan, which is YouTube. So far, we've been relying a lot on savings, especially Krista's savings, and so now at this point, we really need to kick into gear to make this so we can sustain it financially, not just drain the money slowly.
I think one of the good things about us being in the United States for a while is the fact that we'll be able to put our all into YouTube, and just being able to do side trips and travel on and off is gonna allow us to be able to put a lot more effort and a lot more hard work into our videos. And we've just found it a little bit difficult being on the road. It sounds like I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining what it can sometimes feel like. It just sometimes feels like we're working so much on YouTube and working so much on pitching brands and reaching out to places to the point where we're working a heck of a lot more than we're actually exploring.
Yeah.
Like we were in Chiapas for a month and we saw 2 waterfalls, a Mayan ruin, and
that's
like,
about it.
And you know, that's great and all. I'd rather that than nothing at all. But if we get to the point where we can actually make YouTube sustainable for us, we'll be able to actually explore more and share a whole lot more with you guys.
And just kind of focus on something that...
Focus on one thing instead of 5 different things just to try to make this sustainable.
Keep our heads above water.
So we'll be able to work really hard on YouTube, put some really great videos out there for you guys to watch and enjoy and feel like you're there with us, and be able to grow the channel hopefully a lot more before we jump into a new country and we're back on the road again. Okay, so if it seems like we're kind of like in and out here, it's because there's a lot of people here today and we've had to pause a lot due to a lot of noise, so just letting you know.
So with this plan, basically, we're going to get to do South America first, which is, I think, what both of us were most excited about. And then once, hopefully, we've been able to grow this YouTube channel more and we're in a little bit better financial situation, we can then continue to do Central America so we complete the entire Pan American. But I think it's just going to be better in all aspects. It's probably even a higher chance that we are able to definitely a higher chance that we are able to complete the Pan American.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I think it's just smart on that sense.
But that's a tentative plan right now. We'll see where the road ends up taking us.
Yeah. And moving forward, we're going to continue to try to make these amazing videos and make them even better, because for us, YouTube is our way of being able to do this. It's our long-term goal to... Scared me.
It's an odd sounding drone.
Yeah, it's a little mini.
And we just want to thank all of you, whether you're a subscriber or a Patreon or a YouTube member, or you support us every now and then on Buy Me a Coffee. All of that helps so much. Every view counts, and it means so much to have you here.
And it's given us a lot of hope and excitement for the future, because we can see this is possible. It's not just a dream.
Yeah.
It's something we can make a reality with you guys. And so thank you so much for that.
And this month has been our best month yet on
it's
YouTube
incredible.
financially. And yeah, it truly has shown us that this is possible. And we just need to keep putting content out there for you guys and sharing all of our experiences.
And before you know it, we're going to be back on the road in South America So we can't wait.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So far, our Pan American adventure has been quite the adventure.
Definitely.
We started off in Quebec and worked our way through the southern states, up through the west coast, all the way up to the Yukon, to the Arctic Ocean in Tuktoyaktuk, and then to Alaska, up to the Arctic Ocean there in the winter, and just months in Alaska in the winter. And it's just been like such an incredible journey and amazing experience, and we're just so happy to be able to share that with you.
And then Mexico has been such a treat. We're going to talk about that more in a future video,
Yeah.
but like as a whole, Mexico has blown us away.
It's been absolutely incredible. I've been to Mexico twice before, but only in the Yucatan, and the Yucatan's beautiful, but there's so much more to Mexico than beaches and cenotes. And as beautiful as they are, like, if you ever get the chance, like I said, there's so much more.
And don't listen to the headlines. Like, if you listen to the news, it makes Mexico out to be something it really isn't. After being here for 7 months, we can say that
we've felt more safe here than
in the Canada or the US.
Or the US.
Yeah.
And that's really saying something. And we'll touch more on that in a future video.
Yeah, but definitely Mexico has been such a blessing. This whole trip has been such a blessing. And so we're so glad that we get to share each moment of it with you guys, and we're excited to take you along for whatever's next.
Yeah, we'll continue sharing, and we hope that you'll continue to follow us along.
Well, I guess it's getting around sunset, so we should probably go enjoy this beautiful sight a little bit more.
Time slipping through my fingers, can't recall all the days as the ocean falls and rises. So does life have to change?
One of our favorite things about Mexico has been finding these little islands in the sky, places that are often just outside a big city, but feel totally wild, like you've just been dropped somewhere in the mountains of the American West. This spot is only about 25 minutes from the city of Pachuca, but being here, breathing in the cool mountain air, looking out over the pine trees and this glassy water, it feels just as beautiful as any mountain lake we've found deep in the wilderness. It's these hidden pockets of calm that make it so hard to say goodbye to Mexico.
Torn by plastic flowers, and I'm gone. All the world, she's getting older, and she can't recall her age. As the flowers die in winter, I guess she has just been that way.
So, we got invited up to a little campsite for supper with a family.
Yeah, a nice couple, and they have 2 children, and
Grandpa, I guess, was there.
Grandpa, yeah.
But it was super nice. They made like pizza in like a little
and
pizza
like the
oven.
pizza oven, it was so good.
Mm-hmm.
So delicious.
They actually had a little Airstream. It was their first time taking the Airstream out.
Yeah.
So that was really cool, and it was really fun hanging out with them. The guy does photography too and flies drones, and
they've traveled a lot.
40 countries
I'm
or
so
something.
envious
It's
of it,
crazy.
yeah. And the places they've been, it's so cool.
But they live like an hour from here or something, so
yeah,
this is like right next, close for them. But
we have friends that are biking the Pan American Highway, and they always like share stories of like how they get invited to people's houses in Mexico, and now they're in, where are they now?
Bolivia,
but in Colombia too, and Peru, or no, they didn't go to Colombia,
Peru.
Yeah. And, you know, we haven't had many of those experiences because we're in a van and we're
often camped way off in the middle of nowhere by ourselves.
And so we don't have as much contact, or didn't get as much contact as they would. And so in the last week and a half, we've had 2 encounters where we were invited out for dinner.
And it's always been super fun.
It's been so fun.
Yeah, it's really cool to get to know some people who actually live here, and shows you a little bit of different side. Everyone here is so nice, and they're so friendly, and
And
good time.
it just doesn't happen very much in the United States.
You don't just invite random strangers over in the United States. Like,
But yeah, their daughter came over to the van as we were just relaxing for a little bit, and she's like, my parents are inviting you to have some pizza with us if you want. And we're like, yeah, definitely. So we spent the last couple hours there, and it's been great. But now it's getting late,
And it's
we're
cold.
tired,
we're gonna crawl in the blankets.
and we're gonna get some sleep. So
See you in the morning.
good night.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's another beautiful morning here. It actually frosted last night, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, like we're high elevation, but we're not anywhere close to as high as we were back at like Pico de Orizaba or Popocatépetl. But I guess it's more winter now.
Yeah, winter definitely is coming.
Yeah.
So before we leave this area, we're gonna go for one last little hike. It's supposed to take us like 15 minutes according to the guy that works here.
I'm gonna guess somewhere
gonna
between
guess-
that and 30.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that. But he also predicted it would take us 3 hours to get to the waterfall.
I think
And
it was
then-
for the whole hike.
Oh, it was for the whole hike. He
So-
said to the waterfall.
Oh,
so-
well, I meant that. So probably that was about right.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
about right.
Yeah, so I don't know, we'll see. I'm excited for the view though. It looks like it could be really nice. Let's see.
I love these plants. They're so unique.
Yeah. They're like a type of yucca, I think. Oh wow.
Wow.
It is really nice. You can see all the way down to the city.
I can see our van.
Yep, you can see our van way down right there. All right, now for the view the other direction. Hopefully, we'll see. Oh wow, there's a couple lakes
In a town or city.
and a lot of very loud motorcycles or cars or something. I spy a mountain goat.
Hi. We made one little quick pit stop here at the little restaurant again to get more chalupas.
They were so good we had to come back and so cheap. Like
Yeah. But after this, we're heading out, but not too far away.
yeah.
Getting to spend this long exploring Mexico has honestly been one of the coolest experiences of my life. From where we started to where we're standing now, this country has just blown us away. We've seen it all: white sand beaches and warm water, massive mountain ranges and freezing temperatures, waterfalls hidden in the jungle, cactus-filled desert, and everything in between. Mexico really does have a little bit of everything packed into one place. But it isn't just the landscapes that made us fall in love with this country, it's the people. So many kind faces, so many strangers who turned into friends, and this constant feeling of being welcomed even when we didn't quite know what we were doing. As we roll out of these mountains in the core of Mexico and start making our way back north, we're sad to close this chapter for now, but we're also really excited for what's coming next. We can't wait to share some epic new adventures with you back in the north. New places, new challenges, and a whole lot of beauty we haven't shown you yet. All while we work behind the scenes to get ready to rejoin this big Pan-American adventure down the road. Thank you for being here with us through Mexico. We really hope you'll stick around for whatever comes next. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a like or a comment really helps. We also want to thank our Patreons and channel members for their generous support. If you'd like to keep our van on the road and this Pan-American adventure rolling, there's info in the description on how you can support the channel.